Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about NIO stock and why this week is going to be absolutely crucial for the future of the stock. Now, you may be a little disappointed as an investor with how this stock has been moving over the last 2 to 3 weeks, but if you do hear me out throughout this video, I'm going to attempt to show you how you can change that course and make a massive profit in only a few days with this pattern that is forming on NIO stock right now. So before we start, it's actually crucial to know that September is historically one of the worst months for the stock market, so I wouldn't be surprised if those effects were amplified by this year's stimulus printing and many other inflationary events. So as always, remember to take this with a grain of salt, always set a stop loss, and trade in a very calculated way. Now, as we always do with these plays, I want to recommend an option for you guys to keep your eye on and buy if our setup results in a breakout. And I personally bought this options contract around 1 week ago, but as you can see, the gain has been small since then and the opportunity is still very much there for the taking. So in order to explain what you're seeing on the screen, this is actually the options panel for TD Ameritrade, and this is also showing the exact options contract which I bought around a week ago. And the important things to notice here are the time until expiration on the contract, over 3 months of time, so that's very much on the safe side. How much I paid for the contract, only $175, so that is equal to how much risk I'm going to be having on this play, around $180 per contract. And as you can see, I do have a few here, like I explained in the rest of my videos and in my previous options play, like the play on Apple, which made 125% just a few days ago. It's always better to buy more time, and that way you are going to be safe, and it's always better to have less risk. $175 is not really a lot for me as an investor right now, so you yourself can decide how much you're willing to invest or put down on a trade, but that's always something good to know. And the third thing which is important is what strike price I'm exactly aiming for with this contract. And in this specific play, you can see that my contract is the $50 call, so I'm aiming for NIO stock to be around $50 a share by the time this contract expires. Now, in order to understand why there's so much potential with NIO stock, we need to come over to the stock chart, and I really do want to make this as simple for you guys to understand as possible. The breakout here is very obvious with NIO stock, and if we do get a confirmation of this trend on Tuesday, this could be one of the most powerful patterns breaking out this whole month, or maybe even this whole year, as NIO stock is one of the biggest retail investor names, and as a result, when it does move, it moves massively. And you can see this has been very true in the past when we did come all the way from $40 to $50 a share, or even very recently on one of our most recent videos when we traded this stock all the way from $37 the share to $54 all the way at the top. So we have been making some massive trades on NIO, and I want you guys to realize that these trades always seem to happen with the same stock names, and that's why I really do like to target these companies when they have massive potential for a breakout. And that's exactly what I think is happening with NIO here in the very short term and in the very recent time frame. So I am going to zoom in from the 1 day chart here to the 1 hour in order to give you guys a better perspective on exactly the pattern I'm watching and why this is going to be crucial for NIO stock coming over the next few weeks. Now, as you can see from the chart, I'm now zoomed into the 1 hour time frame, and this means that every candle on the chart is representing 1 hour. So you may recognize this wedge breakout right here as the one I just told you we traded a few weeks ago on the channel. But right now we're looking at this last pattern and this last setup that has been forming over the last few weeks, and ever since the 29th of July, you can see that we did reach a top around $55 a share, and that was coming to the end of the last trade which I proposed here on the channel, and that fell into a very long period of selling off for NIO stock. But as you can see, there might be some signs here, or some beginning signs of a breaking out of this downwards channel, and that's why I was wanting to bring this video to you guys so soon and so critically, because I do feel like if this breakout is to happen with NIO, then we are going to be getting a massive escalation in price and volatility over the next few weeks. And I really do think that it is crucial as an investor to be seeing this pattern setting up and really have this in the back of your mind, whether you're trading shares or whether you're looking to make a profitable options play over the next week and a half. So what exactly are we looking for with this play, and exactly what would we want to happen with the stock in order to be able to profit from the option which I showed you just a few minutes ago? Well, as you can see here on the chart, we are getting a nice test at the top of this pattern, and if we were to break out in the upwards direction, a lot of the accumulation that has happened back here and back here when NIO shares were being bought up at a very massive rate will be breaking out at this moment, and that will cause us to rocket at least in the short term to $48, which is a trade that I would be very much willing to make. But an even juicier trade would be if we got a rejection off this pattern right here, came to the bottom support where we have bounced already 3 times in the last week, and then rocketed up to 48. That would probably be the safest trade, and that way you could get in at a minimum price, or the most recent minimum price we've seen on NIO at around $36 a share. Now obviously either of these two scenarios would give us profit in the long term, and as you can see from my contract, I'm already in an options play and up around 10%. So if the stock for me personally did come back down to 36, I would only consider adding to my position. I would not consider selling, because that is part of the plan, and that is why I bought so much time. I really don't think that NIO could be breaking below 36, heading down to 30 a share, thinking and realizing how many people are holding these shares for the long term. I think it's more likely and more realistic for us to expect a push to the upside, and that's why I really do want to bring this to your attention right now, that we are near the minimum price, so you can consider adding shares or even taking a look at an options position. But ultimately those are the two scenarios which we are expecting with NIO over the next week. And just to recap for you guys, the first scenario is that we do see a massive breakout coming over the next week where we do go all the way to around 48 a share, then test again on this support or resistance price where we historically did have a bounce to the downside on NIO. But as you can see, there is a second scenario as well where NIO does not achieve a breakout this week. Instead, it slumps for a few more days and then rockets massively. But those are the two scenarios which I am looking for with NIO stock over the next week, and which I do think are most likely, and that's the reason why I did invest in on this options play, the reason why I'll be looking to add more options if we do have a small dip, and ultimately why I wanted to bring you guys this video, because I think it's a critical time to invest and look at this company either in the options perspective or in the long-term shares perspective. But as always guys, if you did enjoy the content, don't forget to hit like down below. If you enjoy the channel or want to see more, don't forget to hit subscribe. But as always, I hope all your plays are in the green.